We had a really weird moment on...
Why do you keep doing this, Ryan?
Is Blake Lively's personal drama casting a shadow over Ryan Reynolds' career? That's the theory gaining traction as the unexpected delay of Animal Friends sparks buzz across Hollywood. Today, we're connecting the dots between A-list, relationships, PR cleanup, and the mysterious pushback of a highly anticipated movie.
We had a really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me. But to me.
Cathartic.
As if I'm Weasel.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So he was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star. But you just, you do just enough exposition that it's funny, and then we can leave and get back to the real movie.
So he's riffing.
Well, he's right.
Obviously.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's exactly why he said that.
How much riffing?
Because I'm not funnier than he is at all. Right? And I haven't been in more movies than him. Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
agitate the guest, Brian. How much riffing was done?
A lot.
So
and
he literally goes on. He also says...
And Michael Bay worked on a movie with Ryan Reynolds also. And so he has a very specific opinion.
That may mirror your
Ryan
own.
Reynolds. And that was a good part of our last conversation with me and Bay. But
So lots of conversations have been had.
Or he's so deluded that he's like, everybody loves me. Everybody likes me. So TJ probably just wishes that he could work with me again. Bay's like that too, though. Wahlberg talked to me about that, who Bay would never understand why you wouldn't want to work with him.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't make sense. Everybody wants to work with him. And that's also kind of true. So
delusional is what he's basically calling.
When Warner Brothers and Legendary casually dropped the news that Ryan Reynolds' upcoming film Animal Friends would be delayed by a full 7 months, it sent shockwaves through the industry. Originally slated for an October release, the project has now been moved to next May. That's not a casual shift, especially for a movie with a cast boasting Ryan Reynolds, Aubrey Plaza, and Jason Momoa. And yet, no explanation. Zero official word from the studios, just silence. And that silence, it's doing more damage than any press junket could repair. Naturally, speculation followed. The first and most reasonable guess? Smart business. October's box office lineup is packed. Jennifer Lopez has a major rom-com dropping, and Disney's Tron, Ares is poised to dominate. A strategic move to avoid competition makes sense on paper, but behind closed doors, the chatter suggests something deeper is going on, something connected to Blake Lively's personal life. Blake has been at the center of heavy speculation lately, especially over her rumored fallout with none other than Taylor Swift. Those whispers are now being paired with claims of potential legal disputes, all hitting just as Animal Friends was, ready to enter the promo circuit. And here's the reality. Hollywood executives understand how negative press, even seemingly unrelated drama, can dent box office performance. They don't just care about art, they care about perception. Nobody wants a major film release overshadowed by messy headlines about its lead star's spouse. But this might go even deeper. Some insiders believe Blake's rumored legal issues could involve major names in the industry, meaning Ryan could be dragged into the storm by association. When one half of a celebrity couple is embroiled in controversy, the other usually feels the impact. It's unfortunate, but true. And Animal Friends isn't your average film. It's a big-budget, R-rated, live-action animation hybrid. A lot is riding on it. For Warner Brothers, waiting until May might be their way of letting the headlines fade, hoping the public loses interest in the personal drama before box office numbers are on the line. This is Hollywood Damage Control 101. By spring, the noise might shift back to movie trailers instead of celebrity feuds. But underneath the surface, you have to wonder, is this just PR maneuvering, or is it the first sign of bigger challenges ahead for Ryan and Blake as they navigate fame, business, and personal pressures all at once?
Keep doing this, Ryan. Why do you keep letting us catch you in lies? Why can't you just stop talking? Why can't you go off with your family like Justin's doing and let this all air out in the courts? You can't. So why did you do all of this? I can't. I'm so frustrated. I liked you, Ryan. I still want to like you. I keep praying that you've been tricked by your wife and you're in a tricky situation and that's all this was. But guys, it is brutal when you really go this, you wanted to make him write this statement, blaming all of the bad publicity on him. And you've seemingly come out and convinced this. This is the statement. I mean, we've done a video of this before, but we've done a video of all these. This is the statement that Ryan drafted, that he demanded James and Justin post, which would have completely torched their career. And I want you to look at it again. It ends with us was a troubled production. We take full responsibility for it. Nonsense. I've talked to dozens of crew members. That's a lie, Ryan. That's an absolute lie. Plus, your own wife said it was smooth sailing in the second half of production, and the movie was a big hit. Whether you want to let Blake take all the credit, I know you do, Justin had a lot to do with it as well. So says the crew. So nice try rewriting the history there, Ryan. That's a lie. It's a downright lie. We are very sorry to everyone we caused upset to privately public. Who else is complaining but Blake? No one else is complaining but Blake. We mutually agreed that the cast would be promoting the film separately. I don't believe that either. That's also a lie. And understood why. We have always said we are not perfect and even unintentionally make mistakes. We will always own them. We hold ourselves accountable. It's not anyone's job but ours that's part of being man enough. Look at you again, now just really trying to shank him as you're doing all this. We will practice what we preach. We are learning and growing from the experience, and we thank everyone for their patience and as we find a better way to proceed. We are very proud of the film and the welcome arms that it's been received. Part of our work is to have uncomfortable conversations for public growth. The film is doing that on screen, and we are doing that off screen. Thank you for the cast and crew, for the opportunity to be imperfect, and for giving the space to learn and grow with humanity and dedication. Like, what? What on earth planet would anyone agree to this vague generalization that would have torched their careers? What are they apologizing?
Once upon a time, Blake Lively and Taylor Swift were friendship royalty. Red carpets, matching holiday outfits, glowing Instagram captions. These two seemed inseparable. Fans were obsessed with their dynamic, whether it was baking cookies with EA, Ryan Reynolds, or throwing cheeky shade in the comments section of each other's posts. But something has shifted. The friendship that once dominated headlines now feels strangely distant. Gone are the cozy public appearances and playful banter. And the first real clue? Blake's conspicuous absence from key events in Taylor's whirlwind year, like her famous Super Bowl appearances. For die-hard Swifties who track her every move, Blake's no-show was impossible to ignore. Why was one of Taylor's closest friends MIA during some of her biggest moments? That question sparked online theories, but then things took a more serious turn. Reports began circulating of alleged legal dealings involving both women's teams. While the exact reason for legal counsel is still murky, the involvement of lawyers hints at real fractures behind the scenes. This isn't your typical drift-apart story. Something significant seems to be brewing. And then there's Taylor's squad. Gigi Hadid, who once shared tight connections with Blake via Taylor's circle, now seems firmly planted on Taylor's side. It's as if invisible lines have been drawn. The dream squad that once ruled social media feels fractured. And Blake? Well, rumor has it she's building her own team. Enter the so-called Revenge Girl squad. Sources claim Blake is surrounding herself with allies, her sisters, Salma Hayek, and other high-profile connections. Whether that's for emotional support or professional optics, it looks like a calculated pivot. Is this really about loyalty and friendships? Or is Blake strategically reshaping her Hollywood brand in response to being iced out? Timing is everything in celebrity image games, and this one feels meticulously plotted. After all, Blake's media image now oscillates between a victim of Hollywood clique culture and a savvy operator playing chess while everyone else is stuck on checkers. If this is a rebrand, it's unfolding right in front of us. And the question everyone's asking, did this friendship really fall apart over personal clashes, or is there a larger professional rivalry fueling the distance? According to sources, the friendship is cold. Period. No spin, no excuses. And if Blake's girl squad is really part of a larger comeback strategy, we could be witnessing one of the most intriguing friendship fallouts Hollywood's seen in a while.
Lively hate. I don't hate them. I'm angry with them. I'm frustrated with them because they refuse to take accountability, and they are using their Hollywood power to just stomp on people. And then they're using people I like, Conan O'Brien, to put out their message and make it seem like there's nothing wrong. We're still big names. And they are, sadly. They are going to be big names. But they got away with something, or so far they've gotten away with something that I'm just not okay with. And I'm going to continue to call it out. And this appearance, he said a lot of stuff that I'm just frustrated. Like, why are you out there doing this stuff? You really need the attention this badly to go out there and do a whole therapy session about your dad? It's all just so weird, which he goes into about his dad seemingly was a bully. His dad's dad was a bully. I don't think, it's too far off to say you've done some bullyish things yourself. You're revealing all this to us. So of course we're allowed to react and respond and engage. And there was a part near the end that was very telling to me, and I want to play on this part about Ryan Reynolds not punching down. Really, Ryan? Come on. I liked you, Ryan. I'm so frustrated by all this. Why did you get yourself so involved in this? Why did you let Blake go do this lawsuit? Now all your friends are getting deposed. I've heard there's a lot of people in your court who are extremely frustrated by all this, and there's going to be some truths that you may not want to keep.
The idea of a so-called revenge squad might sound like pure tabloid fantasy, but when it comes to Blake Lively, Hollywood insiders are saying it's starting to feel very real. Behind the glossy headlines, the rumor mill claims Blake is quietly assembling a new support system. And this doesn't just seem like leaning on close friends during tough times. Some believe it's a strategic power move, a calculated answer to her alleged fallout with Taylor Swift, and a way to reclaim her standing as a major player in the entertainment world. And who's in this lineup? Some names are expected, but others feel like chess pieces on a carefully crafted board. Leading the way are Blake's sisters, Robin and Lori Lively. Robin, in particular, seems to be stepping into the spotlight alongside Blake, showing up at recent public appearances and offering a steady presence just in the background. Sure, family support is nothing unusual, especially when personal headlines start swirling, but there's speculation that Robin's increased appearances are intentional, meant to highlight Blake's grounded, family-first image at a time when her Hollywood friendships seem more fragile than ever. It's a subtle contrast to Taylor's polished, star-studded circle, which still includes familiar faces like Gigi Hadid. Speaking of Gigi, that friendship shift has not gone unnoticed. Once a staple of Taylor's famous girl squad, Gigi seems to have quietly moved closer to Taylor, leaving her connection with Blake noticeably colder. This drift has only added more weight to the theories that Blake's assembling a team of her own, not just for emotional support, but to show that she's not backing down from the Hollywood hierarchy, but it doesn't stop there. Reports suggest that Blake is actively building new alliances, with some sources saying she's been making deliberate moves to strengthen her relationships with influential players in the industry. One name that keeps coming up? Salma Hayek. The two go way back, sharing a bond since working together on Savages, but recent sightings of them together in New York have reignited interest in that friendship. According to insiders, Salma's ongoing loyalty is seen by some as more than just personal. It's professional backing. One industry source even describes Salma as a quiet power, hinting that Blake may be positioning herself with people who not only support her, but also bring serious influence to the table. Salma's public alignment with Blake is starting to look like more than friendship. It's solidarity. And while Blake's current focus seems to be on trusted allies, there's also word that she's reaching out to longtime industry connections, photographers, like Anna Palma and Guy Rawk, people she's worked with long before influencer culture ruled Hollywood. These relationships might not attract the tabloid buzz that a girl squad of supermodels would, but they add another dimension to Blake's strategy, one rooted in familiarity and authenticity, not just surface-level alliances. Whether this rebuilding effort is purely personal or part of a carefully orchestrated comeback, the public is taking notice. Still, with all this maneuvering, the reactions remain mixed. Some media narratives paint Blake as the underdog fighting through betrayal, while others hint that she's playing a much more calculated game, reshaping her public image to maintain relevance. Either way, the formation of this new inner circle is shifting how the world views her. The bigger question now is whether this strategy will solidify her place among Hollywood's elite or turn into another messy chapter in the celebrity drama playbook. And looming in the background of all this is Ryan Reynolds. Because in Hollywood, when one spouse is thrust into the middle of a headline storm, the consequences don't usually stop at the edge of the red carpet.
next, let's go to Ryan Reynolds, because Ryan's next movie has suffered a major blow. Now they're playing it like it's Hollywood scheduling problems, which it could be. It could be. But his upcoming movie has been delayed a staggering 7 months amid the Blake Lively drama. It's hard to not see this as, let's wait a little bit. Let's wait a little bit. The Animal Friends R-rated combo, live-action animated combo, starring Reynolds, was previously slated for this fall, October. However, Warner Brothers and Legendary have now postponed it to May. Now, that would be 2 months after the trial, so some cool-down period, I assume. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not delayed further, given all if this goes to trial. The date change went public this Tuesday, but no reason was officially announced for the substantial alteration to the scheduling. May 1st was supposed to be the release of Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, but now that pick's been moved to December, and honestly, that one makes sense. They just started shooting. It's a huge tentpole, probably the most expensive movie that's going to be made, with a sprawling cast. I couldn't believe they were going to make that date, so I'm not surprised they pushed Doomsday. But Animal Friends, I don't know. There could be problems with the movie, who knows, but I find it hard to believe it wouldn't also be somewhat involved with this drama, because you don't want to have this movie dropping right now and having to deal with the backlash. Maybe they're assuming by May, it'll be over. Reynolds stars in the film along with Aubrey Plaza, Jason Momoa, Addison Rae, Eric Andre, Dan Levy, Rob Delaney again from Deadpool, Wolverine.
Ryan Reynolds has long been seen as one of the few untouchable stars in Hollywood. Smart choices, a steady stream of box office wins, and a reputation for being the nicest guy in the room. But with the sudden postponement of his latest film, Animal Friends, the whispers about whether his wife Blake Lively's ongoing drama is starting to seep into his professional world are growing louder. And honestly, it's hard to ignore the timing. Warner Brothers pushed the release from October to May with zero explanation. And for a project featuring names like Aubrey Plaza, Jason Momoa, and Reynolds himself, that silence feels even more suspicious. Could this be a strategic delay to dodge the PR storm surrounding Blake? It's starting to look that way. Studios, don't just move big releases on a whim, especially not with an edgy, high-stakes R-rated live-action animated mashup like Animal Friends. And right now, negative attention tied to the Blake-Taylor Swift drama, rumored legal troubles, or that infamous Revenge Squad could spell risk for a quirky movie like this. Hollywood loves a good redemption arc, but it fears unpredictable scandal even more. The question hanging in the air is whether the drama orbiting one half of Hollywood's favorite couple has made studio executives nervous enough to hit pause on what was expected to be a slam dunk at the box office. There's an unwritten rule. In the world of power couples, one person's mess usually ripples across to the other's career. And while Ryan's used to riding the waves of public opinion, this time might be different. His ventures, from co-owning Wrexham AFC to wildly successful business plays with gin and wireless, have painted him as the ultimate cool-headed entrepreneur. But Blake's very public, messy headlines could be the kind of challenge even Ryan hasn't faced before. Sure, his good guy reputation has weight, but no amount of goodwill can fully insulate someone from the unpredictability of modern gossip culture. It's possible that the decision wasn't even his to make. Studios operate based on one thing: perception. And right now, that perception is messy. Reports are swirling that Warner Brothers made the call because they didn't want to fight an uphill battle against relentless tabloid noise. It's not about doubting Animal Friends as a project. It's about not gambling on imperfect timing. Even one poorly chosen release date can damage a movie's earning potential, and nobody wants that stain on a Reynolds film. Ryan's been raising the bar with his career moves for years, but this delay adds something different. An unsettling question about whether his spotless Hollywood run could finally be hitting turbulence, all because of someone else's drama. Is this just a cautious studio move, or the first hint that the golden glow around Ryan might be dimming under the weight of outside noise? Either way, Hollywood's watching closely, and so is everyone else.
It was previously listed, October 10th was, I guess, Jennifer Lopez's movie. But yeah, and the new Tron film. So there was some competition potentially, but yeah, it's hard to not see this, as Daily Mail is also seeing it, as a way to avoid itself. And again, this was confirmed in the trades, deadline, etc., as Warner Brothers Legendary is moving these. So not surprised fully. Now, Ryan and Hugh are also buying an Australian sailing team. they really are linked in together, full on. It's clear they got each other's back, and whatever. It is what it is. Friends should have each other's back. They are now joining CEO Tom Slingsby to do the Sail GP team, the Bonds Flying Ruse. So Ryan's had a lot of success with soccer. It sounds like Hugh wants to get in and do one with him regarding sailing. Ryan must have felt pretty confident because, as much as we want to knock Ryan, he's been a pretty smart businessman in him building his brands. Bad at PR and this drama with his wife, but pretty good at other PR and good at business. So who knows what this means. But anyway, they're buying a competitive sailing team. Maybe, I'm sure they'll try to do a Hulu show around it as well, where Hugh and Ryan show up, mark my words. But this Australian team competes in a Sail GP international sailing competition. Are you guys familiar with that? Let me know. I'm not. But founded by Oracle founder Larry Ellison. Again, look at these rich people that Ryan is associated with, and Hugh. He's still making big deals. He's still got a lot of money in the line. He's investing. It's smart, because then all these other money people, don't want to cut him loose. He wants to keep playing with the big boys. And I suspect Ryan always will. Blake's the big problem. I've heard rumors, again, total speculation rumors, from insiders in Hollywood who are like, within a couple years, that couple's going to be divorced. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true, but good people who would hear good info are telling me that. We'll see.
Hollywood thrives on power plays, and the current storm surrounding Blake Lively, Taylor Swift, and Ryan Reynolds feels like a crash course in celebrity reputation management. Every step in this unfolding drama is dissected, debated, and shared, turning what used to be private issues into very public tests of image control. What we're seeing now is more than gossip. It's a full-blown lesson on how perception can shape, build, or break careers. Blake's alleged feud with Taylor isn't just another tabloid headline. It's a domino that might be knocking over bigger pieces, including professional fallout. Look at the details. Blake's noticeable absence from Taylor's major Super Bowl outings, rumors of legal entanglements, whispers of behind-the-scenes drama. None of it exists in a vacuum. These seemingly small moments pile up into narratives that snowball across social media. And that's where the real power shift happens. Not with press releases, but with trending hashtags and fan speculation. Blake's growing distance from Taylor didn't just impact their personal friendship, it triggered a much wider web of speculation about loyalty, betrayal, and shifting alliances. Social media magnifies it all, turning every skipped event and vague post into supposed proof of betrayal. Silence for celebrities isn't safety anymore. It's gasoline on the fire. And it's not just Blake or Taylor. This happens with any major Hollywood falling out. Fans don't just consume stories, they shape them, creating ripple effects that travel far beyond personal relationships and into careers. If Blake is, in fact, assembling a so-called revenge squad, it's not just about emotional support. It's about signaling strength, about showing that she's still a contender in the game of Hollywood influence. And Taylor's circle closing ranks makes that division all the more obvious. These friendship fractures don't just make headlines, they carry real consequences for professional connections. That brings us to Ryan. His career has always been seen as one of Hollywood's most carefully managed successes, but the delay of Animal Friends has pulled him into the middle of this swirling tension. Officially, Warner Brothers hasn't given any reason for the postponement, but the timing alone has sparked speculation that the decision wasn't purely about box office strategy. Studios are wary of bad optics, and with Blake's name tangled in headlines about feuds and legal drama, it's no surprise that they might want to wait until the dust settles. What seems like a personal issue between friends suddenly turns into a potential problem for a movie's marketing strategy. That's how fragile the balance is between personal and professional in modern Hollywood. And for power couples like Ryan and Blake, those lines blur fast. Why does this dynamic always seem to unfold the same way? Because in the entertainment world, reputation is currency. Studios can spend millions creating glossy campaigns for films or albums, but none of that matters if audiences have already made up their minds based on gossip and online theories. It's not about whether the stories are true, it's about perception. And right now, Blake's personal drama is starting to cost more than just attention. It's affecting the business. Whether intentional or not, Blake's moves and the ones being made around her are reshaping her public narrative. And with Ryan standing right next to her, his career now feels caught in that undertow. Hollywood moves fast, but when stories like this take root, the question isn't just what happens next, it's who survives it.
Ryan Reynolds has a very lucrative deal through Fox, through everything, that he's in bed with them. They can't afford to cut him loose, but they can have a talk and tell him, Ryan, this is not good. But Ryan seems to be so stubborn and aggressively trying to prove the proof is out there, and I don't know what this man is thinking. But from what I've heard now from multiple, I heard this a little bit ago, and now I heard it from some newer sources today, confirming that yes, Bob Iger himself and Disney have been trying to get Ryan Reynolds to drop this nonsense. Just like Taylor Swift, just like everybody else involved, nobody wants to be involved in this. And now they've put on a brave face. They have made it clear they're not going to play nice pool with Justin over these Deadpool requests of getting information from the film. But it's Justin's right. This is all absolutely valid. This is not frivolous. He is demanding that they hold on to these documents so that he can do his discovery to figure it out. It's not up for a judge to deem what's frivolous this early on in a case. That's what the case is for, Ryan. And so you don't get to just throw your power around and keep demanding that it's frivolous and to go away and blah, blah, blah. You are so out of touch. It's wild. You guys started this lawsuit. Let's not forget, you were the ones who started the lawsuit. And Justin's proven fairly that a lot of what your wife is saying didn't seem to happen.